Name is Jana. Um, I'm brand new to trying this whole live YouTube or video thing. Um, I decided to start this in regards to the fact that there's so much, we'll say, human shaming and bashing out there, and I don't approve of it. I also am a huge one against toxic men and toxic women. I'm just going to be fair and say 50% of men and women are good, 50% of men and women can be bad. Um, the biggest thing I just want to get across here in just a few minutes, I won't stay long because I can be boring and ramble, is the fact that a lot of men out there are being shamed and given up on and, just totally rejected in less than 5 seconds because of what they look like, or we find out how much money they don't make. And that has got to stop. I mean, there's other reasons why, but I'm just going to name a few. Sorry. Hey. But anyway, um, I think the thing that's the huge problem is we're not giving these guys a chance outside of income, looks, uh, what they like to do or don't do for hobbies, uh, what their house looks like, what their car looks like. And that's not fair to them. Now, I know there's women out there that, or excuse me, men out there that do the same thing to women, and that's not fair either. It's a 50-50 deal. Um, but I'm going to stand up for the good women and the good men. I hope by my standing up for the good men and the good women, more women and more women and men both will come to the non-toxic side. I believe in the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. Talk to others as you want to be talked to. Tell the truth, hold yourself accountable, admit you're wrong, say you're sorry sincerely, and mean it. Um, it's really sad that I'm part of I go into another YouTube. I'm a subscriber to a very good friend of mine, and it's big on this male shaming. And I went in there live, and it was amazing how many people immediately started bashing on me, and I couldn't believe it. They have no clue who I am. I have no clue who they are, other than the fact that they've been really, really hurt by women who aren't willing to give them a chance for whatever reason. Um, I felt like I spoke the truth that day live on YouTube. I feel like I got a few points out there, as well as, again, the golden rule. Um, I did have a few men actually be decent to me that have been what they, forced into this loneliness because of the way, yes, I'm going to be honest, us women treat them. Um, and I'm going to continue to stand up for these men. I feel bad for them. They have no reason, they should have no reason to feel that way, but they do feel that way. And I feel very bad for them. I can understand their anger, their emotions. We keep stepping all over them, and how else do we expect them to feel? Now, I am going to say also, yes, there are men that do that to women. And there's a lot of women who are completely lonely. They've given up. Men have given up. And I want to get it back to where we get to know each other better. We go on, we go on dates and have a good time and see what each other likes to do and doesn't like to do. Um, Things of that nature. Really get to know someone before you take a look at his bank account or her bank account like, you're not good enough. That's so not fair, and it's very wrong. Um, I I'm not perfect by any means. Years and years and years ago, will have to be honest. It would have been nice had um, I had a lot of money and I could attract a man through that because look at me. I'm not a whole lot to look at, but I am who I am, and I try to be as honest as I can. Um, but anyway, back to years ago. I didn't get or attract the greatest guys. I had, well, just, I'm not going to mention names, but I had one that all he enjoyed doing was beating the crap out of me. And I managed to get out of that after a little over, well, about 2 years. Then I had one that just didn't want to work after helping make some children. And I just figured, the breadwinner here, which, okay, fine. But if you're not going to help me and you're going to treat your children disrespectfully on a regular basis, then okay, can't have him no more. Then the next, was one that worked great. I mean, he worked 60, 80 hours a week. Perfect. Bills were paid, roof over the head, da da da, did everything he could, except it was a mixed, blended family. We didn't have any children together, and he just couldn't get past the fact that um, he felt like he could treat my kids terrible. Okay, bye. And then the last one, who was the very huge love of my life, great marriage, great communication skills between us. We had our moments, but we talked through it. Never went to bed angry at each other. He ended up getting sick, and he passed away in December of 2016. Do I miss him every day? Of course I do. Um, do I wish I could have saved his life? Yes. Um, but it took everything in all of that for me to realize that just because these men did me wrong doesn't give me the right to sit here and full blown shame on them, bash on them. You know, I don't know what they were thinking. I'm not a mind reader. Obviously, they had something going on privately. Um, Felt like they couldn't talk to me about it. Okay. I forgive. I forgive pretty easily, and I have forgiven them. I've moved on. They've moved on, and it seems like they're all doing much better. So hey, more power to them. But anyway, um, so I've seen, my side of, we'll say, toxic men and good men. I've seen the side of toxic women in my face. Um, I will just say someone near and dear to me, was battered on a regular basis. It was a male, and he allowed, well, I shouldn't say allowed, but his wife was constantly beating the shit out of him. Sorry, you don't put your hands on somebody. You don't put your hands on a woman. You don't put your hands on a man other than in self-defense. Um, but he stayed for the kids' sake for as long as he could handle it. Um, and then finally he couldn't take it anymore, and so they got divorced. But I've seen it on that end too. So I guess excuse me. I guess my biggest thing is I want to talk the truth. I want men and women both to come in and listen to what I have to say, boring or not, me being boring, I mean, and just tell me what they think, preferably without a bunch of cussing and bashing on me. But I know how that goes. Like I said, went live once with a good friend of mine, and not even 5 minutes in, I was called gay. Um, I'm like, okay, I'm gay, sure. I'm very, very, very happy person. So I could laugh it off that. You got to have tough skin. But anyway, I just want to be able to talk the truth about how people treat each other, the dating scene, I feel like it should go. So I'm backing this friend of mine by opening up my own channel on the woman's end of it, but hopefully not a toxic woman's end. I feel like I'm a pretty good person, so I feel like I can back him in this way. So I guess I know I rambled. I know I blah blah blah. Let's talk the truth. let's kind of see what everybody feels. Um, let's talk about this dating scene this day and age, which once we get into it, I will tell you absolutely what I think about it, what I agree with, what I don't agree with, and how we treat people, how people treat us. And I think that's where it all needs to start. So we'll see how um, the truth telling goes. We'll see how our chats go. Um, so until then, we'll see you soon.